Hi and welcome to the first episode of Season 2 of the Bbl Roundup with Matt and Szymon.
Hello.
Today we're going to be speaking about the history of the BBL, what's been going on around the league, not the very far history, but just the recent history, as well as some expert insight from a very special guest.
Very special guest, but you'll find that out later.
Not many of you may have heard of him, but he's a high-profile upcoming basketball player. Anyway,
that's what you're going to know for now. Hello, Matt.
Did you watch any games over the weekend?
I did. So I did watch the Bristol Flyers. Obviously, they won. Got into the semi-finals now, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So that's massive for them. Obviously, from last season, that was their best season last season. And obviously now this is their best season. So I'm quite excited to see where that's going to go. Because obviously, they're getting, in my opinion, they're getting much better players.
Well, I don't know if you read, but at the start of the season, we were voted to be one of the lowest teams in this.
Absolutely. I saw that.
The BBL, but this was our best season, I think.
Best season, absolutely.
25 wins or something like that?
Yeah, 25 wins. Best ever
Yeah.
seasons for the Bristol Flyers, obviously, is quite massive for them. They've always been kind of the underdog.
Yeah.
They've always been the lowest funded.
Yeah,
Which is obviously quite nice to see. Obviously, always still playing SGS Arena, but they are getting their new arena at Ashton Gate, isn't it?
Yeah.
With,
Bristol City. Football club. Yeah.
So that's massive because obviously they're getting sold out every game, aren't they?
Yeah.
So the new stadium's 7,000 seats, but it's massive. It's much more than SGS.
Yes, we're getting on to levels of London Lions. Finally.
Absolutely. Yeah. Have you watched any games recently?
To be honest, I was out all of last weekend.
Oh.
So I've been looking at the scores. I think we've got Leicester.
We do have Leicester on Friday, isn't it?
Friday's the first leg.
Yeah.
Not too sure how that's going to go.
Well, obviously, if we lose, that's it for us, isn't it?
Yeah, Leicester's one of the
we
best
beat them before, haven't we? Though.
They're one of the best teams. But we have, through the season we have beat them before. So obviously worried, but the crowd. Especially playoffs, the crowd, they go crazy, don't they?
Yeah, obviously with the Bristol Flyers, that is not really just a club, it's more of a family thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
They've always been together, they always supported no matter the result. Also, always there when we need them.
And I think our players, they've got that dog.
Absolutely.
DJ King, when it comes to playoff time,
he's switched on. He's not
on.
playing around.
They're going for it.
And obviously you got players like Mike Miller, the game-winning shot. Don't know if you remember from last season. That was massive, still being talked about now, really.
Yeah. Well, he's famous for it, really.
Exactly, that's
the
Iceman. That's exactly. And so you got Delpesh, our big guy, the henchman, been with the Bristol Flyers on and off, hasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's quite nice to. Obviously, it would be nice to see them win the first ever playoff, but let's just see if they've got it in them.
Well, who do you think will actually win the playoffs in the end?
I'm a Bristol Flyers fan, so I'm voting for the Bristol Flyers. But obviously, it always gets
I'm going with London. Still.
London.
Yeah.
Well, it would make sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
the biggest funding.
BBL loves them.
BBL loves them, exactly. So let's just talk a bit about the BBL. So they've come a long way. Getting, obviously, like I said, again, sold out each games, and obviously been streamed on Sky Sports. Which is...
Actually, I don't know if you know, but our second leg is on Sky Sports.
Is it?
The one at Leicester, not the one at Bristol because we don't have the space, but Leicester, it's on Sky Sports.
That's massive.
Yep.
That's absolutely massive.
And I'm pretty sure the final was played in the O2 Arena.
Yeah.
And that gets sold out straight away, pretty much.
Well, there's so many seats there, isn't it? And obviously, if that gets streamed, people on an evening. I don't know when the finals is actually. Do you?
No, I know it's on the 14th of May.
14th
I'm not
of
sure
May.
What time, afternoon, evening time.
But obviously, that's going to be massive to get new audiences in as well.
Yeah, it's huge, especially in such a big arena. That's probably one of the most famous arenas in England, isn't it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And obviously, you see the BBL using social media much more now, just to get their audiences much more. Obviously, using Instagram, TikTok, Twitter.
I look at the Twitter a lot. There's a lot of good updates on there.
Yeah, so they're very good with updating. Obviously, putting little clips there and there.
Well, bit of a biased opinion, but I think Bristol Flyers have got the best social media.
Absolutely. They've always been, obviously, the best media. They've always had the best media department.
If you guys haven't looked at it, look at Bristol Flyers TikTok.
Absolutely, yeah. Funny. It is very funny.
They're always throwing shots at other teams.
Yeah. Same with London Lions. They always do little digs at each other. Don't know if you saw. With Leicester, they do, but bring a bit of comedy into the sport, which I think, is quite nice. It's quite nice.
Well, anyway, I think it is time for our very special guest.
It is time for our very special guest. So we'll see you very shortly with our special guest. Thank you.
Hi, and welcome to the Bbl Roundup Podcast with your hosts Matt and Szymon. Today we've got a very special guest, Luke Brown of the SGS Basketball Academy. So, Luke, we're going to get straight into it. Can you tell us about what you do with the Basketball Academy, like your position, your role, your expertise?
Yeah. So I play point guard for the Flyers Academy. So my main expertise is probably shooting, dribbling, and yeah, that's it really.
How
just
long
shooting.
have you been playing for the in the Bristol Flyers Academy now?
I've been playing for about 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself? Obviously, do you see yourself playing for the Bristol Flyers one day, or is this more of a hobby?
Hopefully one day, or at some professional level. So.
Okay, so can you just tell us what you do on like a day-to-day basis? Obviously, because I assume you still go to school.
Yeah.
Obviously, what does your normal day look like with training, school, and everything you do?
It's usually depends on if I have college or not. So if I have class, I'll probably go to class, and then training might just be after or something. Yeah, they sort of do a good job with changing it to make it around your schedule. So.
What are you studying?
I'm studying sport at the moment.
Nice.
Yeah.
How long have you been playing basketball?
I've been playing since year 6, so a long time.
And how long have you been a fan of the BBL?
Ever since I started, really. I was I went to a Flyers game, and I sort of got into basketball from there. So.
Szymon, I think it's time.
Alright, well, we're gonna do a quick fire question. So you have 45 seconds. We're gonna ask you, I think it's around 20 questions. You have 45 seconds to answer as many as you can.
Okay.
So Matt, if you count us in.
Well, it's time.
It's time.
So 3, 2, 1, go.
Who is going to win the BBL playoffs?
Flyers.
Favourite ex-Flyers player?
Dan Adozie.
Favourite sport apart from basketball?
Formula 1.
Who's the greatest player of all time?
NBA?
Any.
LeBron.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Yes.
Favourite Flyers moment?
When they won the other day.
Favourite shoe?
LeBron's.
Game winning block or game winning shot?
Game winning shot.
Would you rather be 5 foot or 7 foot?
7 foot.
All time Flyers starting 5?
Greg Street, Dan Adozie, Malcolm Delpeche, Lewis Champion.
He got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
That's a record. That's got to be a record.
9.5. I'll give you that. I think obviously the starting 5 was a bit of a struggle, but got there.
We've got the best ones in there.
Famous bonus question.
We do have the famous bonus question. So Matthew, would you?
So you got a start, bench, and cut.
Okay.
Yeah. So Greg Street, the GOAT, Mike Miller, and we'll do Lewis Champion.
Lewis
He was
Champion.
in your top 5.
Cut Lewis Champion.
Ooh.
You have to start Greg Street.
Absolutely.
And then Mike Miller, bench.
Fair enough, not bad. So let's turn our heads to the BBL. So obviously, I don't know if you've heard, obviously the BBL has sought an investment of £7 million.
Yeah, I heard that.
By
Was
the
crazy.
777 partners. And if you just tell me, obviously, how much you know about it and how do you think that's going to impact the BBL? Obviously, they've always struggled financially. So how do you think that's going to help the sport grow a bit?
It would definitely help it grow a lot in the UK because basketball's like more popular than people think in the UK, I reckon. Because you still see people on like the streets still playing, like bouncing the ball around, stuff like that. and you definitely have a lot of courts in the UK. They're just not like well maintained. So hopefully they can change that and just provide more mainstreamness to the BBL, make it more on TV, stuff like that.
Do you think obviously by maintaining the basketball courts more and obviously getting better hoops in the park, do you think that's gonna get more obviously younger athletes playing if they've got obviously nice environments? Because obviously football you've got nice 4Gs, 5Gs, obviously nice football indoor and outdoor. So do you think obviously by getting the nicer courts that's gonna help get the younger people playing?
Yeah, for sure. It sort of like just makes it easier for people to start playing if they see good quality courts around. I think they've got a few in Ashton Gate that they're building with the Flyers Stadium, so that'll be quite cool.
So in 10 years, do you think the BBL will be at like a higher level? Maybe not the NBA, but like maybe like the Euro League?
In 10 years?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd say yeah, because you have a few ex-NBA players who are in the BBL already, a few ex-G League players as well, so it's definitely not like the worst in terms of like the basketball leagues. So yeah, I'd probably see it will probably get a lot better, especially with the investment stuff.
And obviously you're quite young, obviously you use social media quite a lot. Do you feel like, obviously, don't know if you've seen that now there's a lot of BBL teams obviously posting on TikToks, don't know if you see that on your For You page or whatever. Do you think obviously that's important to gain the younger audience's attention? Because obviously a lot of younger people now use TikTok, Instagram and all that kind of stuff. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it would be good to sort of definitely promote it, put highlights on stuff. Like I know the Flyers have got a TikTok page and Instagram, stuff like that, where they can, post where to watch the games and stuff. So, yeah.
Cool. Do you, what do you think of obviously Bristol Flyers getting their new arena? Obviously, that's a big step for them. They've played at SGS for many years now, and do you see obviously more clubs getting their own arenas? Do you think that's the best step forward for the BBL?
Yeah, 100%. Like, the fact that we're playing in a college is a bit like embarrassing when you see like London Lions got their own like Copper Box arena, and then with like this massive stadium, it doesn't get sold out, but it definitely will in a few years' time. But yeah, it definitely will help like promote the Flyers in the UK, give like a different atmosphere and stuff.
Obviously, they have that investment of 7 million, but do you see in the future they might seek another investment potentially, obviously when they're much bigger?
Yeah, I could probably see that. Yeah, it would definitely help, like promoting stuff. So,
well, I think that's everything for now. Well, thank you very much for joining us on this podcast.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, and we wish to see you again, hopefully.
Yeah.
So that was our very special guest, Luke Brown. Plays for obviously the Bristol Flyers Academy. What did you think?
Wow, obviously because he's not direct. He's not directly involved with the BBL, but he's getting there. So obviously it's good to hear from some young perspectives,
absolutely.
People, obviously, and then obviously he's got a bright future ahead of him.
Mm-hmm.
You may even see him in the BBL at some point.
Never know.
You heard it here first. Before anyone knew his name. Well, no, I think it's good, to hear from someone, that actually plays basketball.
Yeah.
He's been playing it for a long time, It's just good to hear from someone like that. And you obviously knew quite a bit about the BBL.
Absolutely. Well, like you say, he's been a fan, since year 6, I think?
Year 6, something like that.
Which is quite a long time, if you ask me.
Yeah. And, it's just, he's obviously really enthusiastic about the future of the BBL. I mean, I definitely was, really interested in what you had to say. Yeah.
Absolutely. And the most interesting part, in my opinion, obviously, when we did talk about the 777 investment, he did mention obviously improving the courts obviously in the UK, which is quite massive because, like I said, football obviously have the nice indoor outdoor pitches, and obviously if you think about if you see a basketball, you see very old just metal standard basketball hoop, which obviously when you shoot at that's just not the nicest shot you're ever going to take, is it?
If you think about it, years ago no one really played basketball, did
no
they? 20 years ago BBL, it was just beginning pretty much, and no one was really that interested. And then I don't know. The first time I played basketball was probably secondary school.
Me too. Yeah. Secondary school as well. Yeah.
You know, it's coming from where it's come. 20 years ago, no one really played it. To now, where I'm pretty sure most secondary schools play it. Most people at least know the NBA, maybe not the BBL.
Yeah.
So it's getting there, isn't it?
Absolutely. Well, if you look at obviously our parks now, you see there's always full playing basketball.
Yeah.
It's hard to get a hoop actually.
Yeah, well, me and you every summer go down, don't we? It's always lively there. There's so much good competition.
Obviously, it's kind of like you bring a speaker, obviously just water, and you're playing all summer.
So you don't even really need anything.
No.
Either. And it's because it's such a good team sport, because football, 11 people, you
11
never
people.
even see someone on the other side.
Exactly.
Basketball,
you just
fast-paced 5v5, you're always with someone.
Even, and you need 2 people, 1-on-1, never gets boring.
Yeah.
Because obviously with football, when you just do 1-on-1, you can do, what's the game called? And like netball, whatever it's called. That football tennis, that's the one. Yeah. Obviously that gets kind of boring, but obviously with 1v1s you can do like horse, all these kind of games.
And it's good to see, because every time I go to a park, it's always young.
It is always young people. Yeah.
And it's just good to see, because if you get young kids involved early on, then it's just going to skyrocket.
Absolutely. So. And obviously you see now parks obviously get like the one we have in Bristol, the Trust Hall. Yeah. You got the higher, bigger net, obviously for the full size, and then you got the one lowered, which is quite nice for the younger people to get them started somewhere.
Yeah. Well, it was good to hear all that anyway.
Absolutely. Well, I guess this will be us for now, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Ooh, do you have any sneak peeks for the next episode, or are we going to keep
No, it's going to be, it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better for now. Well, thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.